essentials of design, and this is on the river bank Sabarmati. And if you see, the building is so beautifully designed that it just have like a Lego blocks. It is expandable, it is modular, it has grid structure, it is geometrical, it has a green cover, human centric design. और ये सब अगर मैं बोलूँ ना तो ये for student level it is very hardcore. क्या है ये सब? So coming to very basics, what is expandable? तो एक इंस्टीट्यूट का बिल्डिंग कैसा होना चाहिए? It is a simple grid. एक simple grid है. जब चाहो तब उसको आप चेंज कर सकते हो. क्यों? क्योंकि इंस्टीट्यूट starts with maybe 50 students and then end up maybe 500,000, 50,000. So आपका जो स्ट्रक्चर है, आप जो डिजाइन करते हो, very smartly डिजाइन कि it grows with the people. यहाँ तो ऐसा हो जाएगा बिल्डिंग बड़ा और लोग कम है, और यहाँ तो लोग कम है बिल्डिंग नहीं है. But if you see this building so beautifully designed. Second important part for all the architects and all students, if you come to NID, you will find a grid on the top, you will find on the floor. So कल उठकर अगर आपका इलेक्ट्रिशियन, आपके प्लम्बर को अगर लाइन रिपेयर करना है, तो he doesn't need to ask for drawings. It is so beautifully designed that he can open the grid and he can repair it. That is called the thought and vision of an architect. If you want to carry your wires from the ceiling, all your beams are so beautifully punctured prior casting that you do not need to break anything. And that makes that building beautiful. All the trees grown there, जितने भी पेड़ वहाँ लगा है, वो सोच समझ के लगा है कि कौन सा बर्ड आना चाहिए, क्या फ्रूट्स आना चाहिए, कौन से सीजन में क्या प्लांट आपको, कि क्या ट्रीज आपको शेडो देगा. सो इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट कि अभी बोला प्लांट, अरे मैडम जाओ ऐसा करना है, कोई गेस्ट आ रहा है, प्लांट लगा दो, और हमने जो भी प्लांट मिला तेरे पास जो दे दे लगा दो. We do lot of जुगाड़, but institute building can't be a जुगाड़. If you see this building, it has so inspiring spaces. Each and every block make that it is meant for you, and each and every space make you feel that it is a personal space. So we have got a lot of artifacts around, simple brick and concrete structure. There is nothing else. So it helps you for maintenance. You don't have to maintain too much. Initial cost is there, but then you don't have to worry about. If you see, all the grids are pre-casted during that time, I'm talking about 1960s. If you see Charles Eames' house and if you see NIT, they look very similar. Also, if you see the dome around the building, it talks about perfection. Each and every brick laid is so perfectly laid that it inspires the student कि मेरे को भी ऐसा perfect काम करना है. Otherwise, as a design student, we always have the काम चलेगा, submission चलेगा, and we make our life also चलेगा. So in that building, that it is alter control delete, चलेगा जैसा word is not there in that building. How can we create educational spaces that encourages cross collaboration to propel research and creativity? Because you are into that building where you need to have creativity, and building has to inspire, people around you has to inspire. So we believe in hands-on, minds-on and learning by doing. क्योंकि जब तक आप खुद हाथ से बनाओगे नहीं, आपका failure नहीं होगा, तब तक आप सीखोगे नहीं. So people who fear about failure, they can't learn. Failure makes you more stronger, failure makes you more confident. And none of the students should feel that मैं fail हो जाऊंगा तो life end हो जाएंगी. If you fail, that's a new beginning of your life. So I tell to all the students, then start working on something. Do not just come, I काम किया चले गए. You are not coming here to submit work. You are here to make your career. So this is our studio. Basically, it's very old. The red one. It's diluting here, the red part. So if you see NIT, it's inside also beautiful and outside also it is beautiful. And all the places are flexible like Lego. So I can change my office to small office, to big office, to 50 office. And now coming to this very different building. This is Glasgow building, and it is Advanced Research Center, recently made. And if you see, the building is very quiet from outside. And it really inspired the researcher to work on. So what is the space about? As you walk into a space, you are welcomed by signages, thresholds, furniture settings, sounds, smells, artifacts, and artwork that set the tone and signals who belongs and possibly who does not. The best way to attract a diverse, dynamic community of people is to ensure they feel seen, supported, and accommodated as they enter. Because a learner can be anybody. He can come from any caste, he can be physically handicapped, he can be from any part of this region. And how do you make each and every person get this space belongs to you? Otherwise, when you enter it, पहले पूछना पड़ेगा, नम्रता मैडम कहाँ मिलेगा? तो इधर जाओ, उधर जाओ, उधर जाओ. फिर when you go, अरे दो कुर्सी नहीं, तीसरी कुर्सी, waiter दो कुर्सी लाओ, तीन कुर्सी लाओ. What is this space about? So how do you set the tone? You have a good greenery. So at NIT, the best part is that during monsoon and summer, I don't have to use my umbrella anytime. I just walk because a lot of trees are there. It shades. And because of the trees, a lot of birds are there, and that is how designers get inspired to. Most of the building architecture, if you see, or institute buildings do not have trees. They may have a beautiful building, glass facades, lot of beautiful furniture, but what to do with when you can't set with the climate or in the environment? So how, if you see that Glasgow building, this is mainly for the researcher people who are doing PhD and want to do something creative job, 500 people working into that space. And see, each and every human being is individual. I cannot make them discipline ko aapko seedha paँव करके ही बैठना है. Because I want to be comfortable. When I am comfortable, then I can develop my senses, my mind can work. And it has been always like that, the table has to be like this, your chair has to be like this, but I'm not comfortable because each and every human being have different height, different weight, different mental status. And this gives that comfort, Glasgow building. You sit the way you want. There is no belongingness off to that place. आपने देखा होगा कि जिस दिन आपको जॉब मिलती है, आप एक जगह पर बैठ जाते हो, वहीं पे भगवान का फोटो भी होता है, ड्रॉवर आपका, ये आपका, पर्स आपका, और वो जगह आपको ज़्यादा प्यार हो जाती है. That is the only place you go. But why? So boss has a place, he sits there. But the world is changing now. So there is no belonging. You can come, if you have a meeting, you use the director rooms also. Correct? You can sit the way you want and wherever you want. That is the new generation looking for. There is no hierarchy. Why do we need a hierarchy? Ye boss hai, ye wo hai. Ultimately, end of the day, what do you need is productivity. That productivity has to come. Value addition has to come. And to bring this productivity, you need to have freedom of mind, freedom of thinking. और कब आएगा जब आप कंफर्टेबल बैठे हो, अपने हिसाब से बैठ रहे हो, खा रहे हो, and it is easily achievable. So you have got your private space, semi-private space, open space, spaces in group. So ARC is a catalyst for activity and discovery, nurturing creative energy that jump starts the innovative process, and the space is doing exactly what we intended to do. होना चाहिए कि I want to go to office. आज मैं बीमार हूँ लेकिन I want to go to office because that charges you, that gives you energy. ये तो छुट्टी है ना, आज मजा है. That is not an attitude because the space is not allowing you. So your space and that space, you need to make it inspiring. If you see, it has got enough light, enough oxygen coming there, comfortable sitting is there, you have technology, and all the things what you want is there. Again, coming from US Glasgow back to India. It's because some of you think कि हमारे पास पैसा नहीं है तो इतना बड़ा institute कैसे बनाएंगे? So it is not about again money. It is about a mindset. So this is a beautiful building in Rajasthan school, designed by Sanjay Puri. And this building talks about lot of shapes, lots of opening, lots of lights, lot of shadows. Shadows keep on changing the whole day, which changes your mood and inspire you to work more and more. If you see, all courtyards are nicely connected. It's organic character. Landscape is there, and you feel of working comfortably. So again, it is like modern interpretation of sun breakers in architecture, like how the movement of sun and that can create different mood into that building. Another example, Rane Vidyalaya, CBSE school. So if you see NID, it was completely open, inside out. Glassboro was completely glass facades. It was disconnected from out to in. But when I am inside the glass globe, it makes me beautiful. If you see this building, so beautifully designed, it has got partial light and partial ventilation. So this is again a simple thought, I do not want to be directly connected, but I want to be indirectly connected. If you see the walls, just above the lintel you have got open spaces where you can get beautiful light and you know what is happening. Otherwise, if you see most of the education building, you do not know what is happening outside. You are teaching somewhere and suddenly you realize when you come out कि बाहर बहुत बारिश हो गया, मेरा गाड़ी पानी में पड़ा है. ठीक है, तो हम लोग कुछ जगह पे ऐसे रहते हैं कि जहाँ पे बाहर क्या हो रहा है मालूम ही नहीं होता है. So we do not know what is happening around the world. So it looks almost like you are in a jail. Do we need, can we work in a jail-like environment? So if you see the same building from inside now, from outside it looks there will be less light, but the way it is been lit, so beautifully done. So indoor courtyards and central assembly space, you see, it is getting more collaborative spaces. Let's come together and work. So again a blend of colors. Here also if you see it is more of a concrete, but still it is connecting everything and allowing people to interact, because staircases are just not to climb, but there you can sit, you can talk also. This is another beautiful school of dancing arches. Correct? So it is by Samira Rathod and it is in Gujarat, Bhadran. Lot of green spaces and very, very inspiring inside. And it doesn't look like again you are in that claustrophobic environment. Very beautiful, very innovative school again in Gandhinagar. It is school for blind, where it talks about inclusive design, because generally we always forget handicapped people and this people and this. We just create stories, but if practically we do not do it. So I think all of you should visit this school. It is so beautiful. It talks about space and sound, because people, it is for dumb and deaf people also. A lot of people, students coming here. So how do you engage them? How do you navigate them through sensory? इनके पास तो कुछ आंख देखने की है ही नहीं. हमारे पास तो आंख है, फिर भी पूछना पड़ता है भैया इनका ऑफिस कहाँ है, ये हॉल में कहाँ जाना है, ऊपर कैसे जाना है, लिफ्ट मिलेगी कि नहीं. राइट, इवन वी हैव व्हाट आईज, और मेरे तो आंख भी है, चश्मा भी है, फिर भी मेरे को पूछना पड़ता है कि भाई जाना कैसा है. So imagine people who are blind, and there is a challenge how to design an education building for these people. How do you control light? How do you control volume? And all these blind people navigating themselves. This is a challenge. If this college or if this institute can do this, why not we can follow all around the world? How the textures are being used, so I understand how to navigate where I'm going. So it's completely sensory engagement is there. No extra costs. I'm not putting any technology inside there. So there are all tactile models and braille markings which navigates easily, which makes blind people's life happy. See, how do they interact? So this is another school, and here it is more about interaction, how students come together and they are not alone. So activity-based learning, indoor-outdoor integration, because you've got light and what is happening outside, you know. Ergonomic design, child-centric design. So this is what exactly you need in educational institutes. So So how do you integrate forms? Because when you आप बच्चों को पढ़ाते हो कि भाई हाथी क्या है, आप बुक खोलते हो उसमें दिखाते हो हाथी, तो बच्चे का इमेजिनेशन होती है कि एक बुक और बुक में जो है वही हाथी है, तो his thought process उतना ही हाथी ही है. लेकिन if you really show him what elephant in real life is, then he can understand what is weight, what is dark, what is light, what are opposites, and a lot of things you can show him showing him a real elephant. So this is new age teaching methods. So this, if you go to this website called Steel Case, they do a lot of research on future education and how to engage people into that. So I'm not going into too much detail, but this is very important that as we look to designing education spaces for the future, we look to creating learning and workplaces that are safe, compelling, resilient, and responsive to ever-changing needs of business, student, educators, and administrators. This is very, very important. We never design something which is futuristic. And also, it is about the guy or the owner. He only wants it. Bana do na kuch bhi. So that is also a wrong attitude. An architect also agrees to that. Whatever you want, I will make it for you. So as an architect, we need to disagree to what people say. When you are designing an educational places, there has to be some parameters that you need to follow. Owners want to earn money, but that doesn't mean that architect designed a shit building. So there are 4 parameters, that is safety, productivity, effectiveness, inspiration, and flexibility. So if you do not have this, then it is very difficult to grow yourself, to educate yourself. Designing a better learning experience. How do you create an experience? मेरे को वही टेबल कुर्सी दे दिया जो मैं फर्स्ट ईयर में था, लास्ट ईयर तक वही रहता हूँ, 4 साल कि 5 साल. And then you want me to design something very nice. You want me to in the same room, no? वही रूम जहाँ से मुझे बारिश भी नहीं दिखती है, ना ही मेरे को आसमान दिखता है, ना ही मेरे को बर्ड्स दिखता है, लेकिन दुनिया भर का सबमिशन आप मेरे को दे देते हो कि ये करके लाओ, ये करके लाओ. काम होगा कैसे? You need an openness. You need fresh thinking. And you need that type of environment to make you comfortable to design something creative. So it's time to put human metrics ahead of building metrics. So we always know, as an architect, we building metric, ye kar do, wo kar do. We always focus on building metrics. But we need to be human metric. That is very, very important. What human need, that we need to give them. Students and educators have new needs and expectations, requiring shift in the way we think about buildings and learning spaces. It's time to move forward and use what we have learned to make a learning better. This is more important. There was a time, अगर आप अंगूठा मारते तो बोलते दे फालतू है, अंगूठा छाप है. आज सारे एजुकेटेड लोग अंगूठा पे ही काम कर रहे हैं. आधार कार्ड से लेके यू वांट बैंक एनीथिंग मनी और यू वांट टू डू पासपोर्ट, यही चाहिए. डू यू अग्री और नॉट? तो हम सब अंगूठा ही छाप है, लेकिन वी नेवर वैल्यूड आवरसेल्फ. और आज गवर्नमेंट भी वही बोलती है, अंगूठा मारो तो पासपोर्ट बनेगा वरना नहीं मिलेगा. So we do not stick to our identity. India is sustainable. We believe in sustainability. We practice sustainability. But the Europeans come and teach us what is sustainability. Because we have never documented our work. We never follow again sustainability. We copy European in a half-hearted way and then we fall nowhere. Otherwise, India is the most sustainable country in the world. हम लोग एक कपड़ा भी नहीं फेंकते. एक साड़ी होगी, साड़ी के बाद हम लोग उसका कपड़ा गोदरी बनाएंगे, गोदरी में से वो बनाएंगे, झाड़ू बनेगा, डोरी बनाएंगे, और लास्ट में जो जोत बनाते हैं ना, लाइट नहीं होती है तो उसकी बाती भी अपनी साड़ी से बनती है. तो वी आर सो सस्टेनेबल. बट नाउ एवरीबडी वांट्स टू बी मॉडर्न. सब लोग को ज़ारा और गुच्ची प्रादा चाहिए, है ना? So what are active learning space? So now you have a space, beautifully everything done, but you do not have that activity going on. How can you keep yourself active also? This is very important. How do you engage people? This has been missing because you have a beautiful building. Yesterday also the organization wants to have a beautiful building, because when you have a beautiful building, people will come to study. You have got AC everything because people wants comfort. But पैसा किससे कटेगा? जितने भी एजुकेटर है, जो टीचर्स का पैसा काट लो, क्योंकि वही कर सकता है और कुछ नहीं कर सकता है. Correct? So here also it's talking about the same. How do you create it active learning? So people who really want to interact together, people who wants to sit alone and work, how do you allow them spaces into a space? So this again you go back to the steel case research and there we talk about me and we. At this moment if you see, इंडिविजुअल ठीक मेरा जगह कर दो, मेरे लिए गाड़ी कर दो, मेरे लिए ये कर दो, मेरी कैबिन में ये डाल दो, बट half the problem we are invited because we sit alone. Sitting alone you got depressed, you do not interact, you don't have friends, you don't eat together, and then you got a lot of depression. You don't have anybody to share. But when you sit together as a friend, half of your problems are resolved. And this is the fact. If you see Indian community, we were like that. शादी होती थी तो एक week पहले people used to come together. बर्तन हम लोग गांव में से लेके आते थे. And everybody used to come together and cook together, eat together, spend time. Now family, relative, nothing like that. They will come by car, खाना खाया, gift voucher दिया, gone. And then we want to go to gym to be healthy. One side you complain, I'm not getting salary, and second side, you go and give all that money to gym because we made our environment such. So how do we convert me to we? That is more important. So equally support large groups, small groups and individual. You have to be individual when your thought process is there. But when you're working for environment, it has to be from me to we. Fixed to fluid. Do not have your process के ये ऐसा ही होगा, कि आपका room ऐसा ही होगा. It need to have fluidity, people, inclusiveness, everything is there. How do you relax into that furniture? How do you work? You have got digital also, you have got something to sketch also, and how do you mix to that fluid? Open plus enclosed. So you have got spaces which is open. Whenever you want it to be enclosed, you can do that. So that flexibility is very important. Braiding, digital and physically. So generally people say, okay, why do we need technology? If you really want to compete with the rest of the world, we have to adapt that, but not at the cost of forgetting our own craft and culture, or the culture where we come from. And here it also talks about exploring principle of design. How do you teach to your students? Because not all the time you give theory and then they go bored. How do you interact with them? How do you show them virtual things also? And how do you make them feel happy and engaging? So mobile and versatile furniture further aids in fluid transition between all learning modes for active engagement. So nothing is fixed here. You can move all the furniture and whatever you want to move has got flexibility. So you want to convert into a dancing hall, it is possible. So these are all how you convert open to closed spaces, physical and digital spaces. So beautiful. If you see this furniture, somebody is of different height, somebody is of different weight. Working style is also different. I may work at night, I may work at daytime. Designers are generally crazy. Architects, if you talk about, they always say, मैं तो रात को ही काम करता हूँ. Correct? So you cannot put them into the same box. So here, an educational space should allow them to have flexibility in working, flexibility in furniture, flexibility for privacy. Because sometimes it is important to talk to your family also, to your friends also. And that is the right time to talk. Because now we are global. So how do you make happy to the students, educators, and the rest of the world? This is very important. Immersive learning simply means integrating augmented and virtual reality technology into the learning experience. If I have to teach what is a building, what is an architect, or what is a product, if I show him 3D or virtually, that can impact more, because nowadays each and every student is equipped with mobile. everybody has a mobile. So we don't need to teach them theory because it is there on your fingertip. But if you teach them what is augmented reality, they are well prepared for the coming challenges. So AR and VR plays a major role in learning. And this again, designing inclusive spaces. This is very important. We have to respect them and encourage them that they are also a part of the family and they can do equally good what we are also able to do. So imagine an office space that puts you at ease and makes you feel valued. Generally ये feel valued नहीं होता है. आपको सैलरी मिल रहा है ना, आप लेट आए थे तो कट गया ना, so ये होता है. We are never valued. Less of the time the teacher is valued. Yes, you have done a wonderful job. How many times your mentor or your boss has said you have done an amazing job? Teachers are hardly appreciated. So makes you feel valued, productive and engaged from entry to exit. This is very important. When you are a new teacher, you are being valued. You are so super. Once things move, then the value goes off. Now consider someone different from you. Would they experience the same way, space the same way? Would they feel accommodated or excluded, connected or discouraged? This is very important. The world is getting transgender and this and that. How do you include all of them? So important is changing the mindset. This is all possible if you change the mindset. Otherwise, when हम लोग जाते हैं ना कभी महाराज को किसी को सुनने के लिए जाते हैं, it can be any great spiritual leader, हम लोग जाते हैं सुनते हैं, सुनने के बाद क्या करते हो जब जाते हो तो ऐसा सब झाड़ देते हो ऐसे, जो सुना खड़े हो क्योंकि वह जो लिया मैंने यहीं छोड़ के जा रहा हूँ, कुछ लेके नहीं जा रहा हूँ, तो यहाँ से सुनते हो यहाँ से. So this is all about a mindset. So if we change our thinking, if we change our mindset, then only we can make this education space a better place, a learning space. So engaging the perspectives of people from different socio-economic backgrounds, races, disabilities, ages, sizes and genders, or who identify as neurodivergent, adds value to any projects. It's less about reaching a perfect outcome and more about uncovering barriers with unheard voices to drive innovation. This is very important. हम लोग बातें ज़्यादा करते हैं, implementation कम करते हैं. So it's very important to change our mindset and to inclusive design mindset. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Very important. But at this current, it is also important that whatever good idea is there, you need to implement also. Execution is equally important. So design is all about problem solving. Once you start imagining, you never stop learning. Learning is every day. आप designer बन जाओगे, architect बन जाओगे. Every day is a new challenge. Correct? And how do you smartly deal with it? So these are the references I have taken from Steel Case 360, NID. So you go on architecture or MP Ranjan, you will find a lot of things onto that. And if you want to know more about all this, you can connect me on Instagram. This is my handle, Pravinsinh_K_Solanki. And thanks so much.
So we have some audience questions, if you would take them. The first one is, how important is ergonomics in the tech world?
See, ergonomics is the most important because it talks about your own body. If you're not considering ergonomics, it's a failure. So either you're using a mobile phone or you need. So tell me one space which doesn't have furniture. Wherever you go, it's a furniture is there. Either you talk about a mall or you talk about a car. Car seat is also ergonomics. If you're not able to drive car comfortably, if that ergonomics of the car seat is not perfect, you can't drive for 3 hours, 4 hours, right? If you are on a hospital bed, and if that hospital bed is not comfortable for a burnt guy or a normal patient, you can't be surviving. So ergonomics is the first, right? Without that, it is difficult to design anything. So it plays a major role.
So the next question is, there seems to be a thin line between design and architecture. For instance, there are different institutes like NID, SP, etc. Please explain the difference.
See, architecture, again, you're designing space, huge space, and that space doesn't move. Once that building or something is made, you are inside that. Whatever things you can do it. But when you talk about a product design, a product travels globally. So many users are using it. So that is more tangible and more user interface is there. Architecture is only a space where you are inside. You like it, you don't like it. Some may like it, some may not like it. If you see, there are a lot of buildings which look so beautiful but may not be functional. There are buildings which may be functional, may not be looking beautiful also, but it has been invested, so it just lies there. Lot of malls are going down. If you see, lot of heritage buildings are so beautiful, but they are just remained as an heritage building, and it is not been made as a tourist place also, because we do not value that architecture. So product is something like that, it keeps constantly changing. So if I have got a mobile stand or a clip, after maybe 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, the clip will change because the material changes. The building remains for 40 years, 50 years, 70 years, but product life cycle is very less. So it keeps on changing with the material and the process, we get it.
So I really liked your presentation. I just wanted to know how to make the workplace more congenial and work friendly.
Thank you so much, and mainly for the hungry audience. So see, workplace first, we should be very down to earth. Most of the people feel that मेरी ऑफिस में मैं क्यों झाड़ू लगाऊंगा. हम लोग, there is always an ego, and then अरे यार झाड़ू नहीं लगाया. तो first you should be very down to earth because it is your office. You have to use the space. अपनी ऑफिस को झाड़ू लगाना पहले सीख लो. Whatever you need, only keep that stuff. Do not like ना कि किसी के रूम में देखा, अरे बाजू वाली मैडम के रूम में तो 25 बुक है, आप पढ़ते ही नहीं हो तो बुक्स रख के क्या करोगे? Right? So we always have an influence. ये करना है. So live by yourself. Whatever you need, whatever inspiration you get, just keep it. ऐसा नहीं कि कोई आ गया एक भगवान का फोटो देके गया, कोई आया ये गिफ्ट देके गया, and you keep on making your space like a museum. If you do not need it, do not keep it. It has to be more productive. You should feel that when I go to my office, I am happy. So either you leave your wife at house and come, or you leave your husband and come. So your space is, you love your space more than your husband or your wife. That is the best, because you're spending more time there. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the patience.